Welcome back to the Booze and Beers podcast. I'm Dylan Crow. I'm joined by my co-hosts, Adam Ravenscroft.
Hello! Good evening.
Carl Richards, the Chad. And our guest star, our first guest star, Penny Healey.
Welcome, Penny.
For those of you that don't know, which I can imagine not many of you, Penny Healey is the former world number one in women's recurve. She has... I have no idea how many medals because I'm on the wrong part of the World Archery page. Three World Cup medals, one Olympic appearance, and is a world record holder. I should have done the research beforehand, but we're rolling with it. So you know all about us. You've listened to the first episode, hopefully. So we will give Penny time to introduce herself. So Penny, who are you? How long have you been shooting? And where did you start?
Well, I'm Penny. I have blue hair. I started archery. I started archery when I was 9. And I've been doing it for a very long time now. Yeah.
Surprisingly, I remember you as that 9 little kid.
Yeah.
You've not changed much.
No.
Just the hair colour.
Yeah, many times in 1 year.
For those that don't know, Penny is known for eccentric hair colours, I think is the best word. It's always different at every major tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Penny, you've introduced yourself. This episode is mainly going to be talking about probably your achievements and us asking you questions. Obviously, you can ask us them, because that's why we're here. So, I suppose the first question that we kind of want to ask people is, what's your proudest achievement in archery? We'll start with a big one.
See, I feel like a lot of people are going to expect me to say the Olympics, but like a controversial opinion, to me it's not really. Like, yeah, it was a huge dream of mine, but also I didn't really perform how I wanted to. So, in my opinion, my proudest achievement is probably becoming the world number one and winning the European Games, both in team and individually.
I mean, fair play. World number one is one hell of an achievement.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What age were you when you became world number one?
18?
I might be wrong in saying, but was that one of, or if not the youngest at the time?
Unsure. Probably. I don't know many 18-year-olds that are world number one, to be fair. Not to flex.
Yeah, I can't think of... I can't think of any, but that's
it's probably because 18-year-olds are still doing the junior thing, aren't they? Rather than playing with the seniors.
That's a fair point.
A lot of them probably haven't taken the leap to go and fight with the big boys and girls. But yeah, it's a pretty damn good achievement to be world number one at 18.
Thank you.
So yeah, it's a pretty good achievement to be proud of, and I mean.
So go on then. What was your path to get into world number one? What obviously you go to a lot of World Cups each year because you're on the Olympic program. You're practicing every day?
6 days a week. I actually have a rest day now.
You get a day off. Shocking.
No, I'm not working hard enough.
But in terms of your World Cups, your performances were building up. You were winning stuff at World Cups. What was it like, as you started winning and achieving and, making things happen at the World Cups, taking on the world's greatest, being the world's greatest, and getting to that number one spot?
Yeah, it was genuinely terrifying. To be like, to be so young, and then all of a sudden all these people know who you are. You're like,
you got the picture up.
Wait, like, for example, like Michelle Croppen came up to me and was like, "Hey Penny," and I was like, "You know who I am?" And then Lisa Umry, one of the competitions, she was there like, I asked for a picture with her, and she was shocked about that, and I was like, why is she shocked about that? And it turned out that she actually knew who I was, which was crazy to me. But yeah, I had a lot of
When you get in your bed,
junior
buddy.
experience in team rounds and stuff, which I think really helped me, and we had a really good team at that time. We had a really good team. So
We're not doing anything
Chad's
special.
left. That's how he
Yeah, we've
feels.
lost it. Chad has.
Do you know, it's Chad, he loves to talk compounds, but as soon as the recurve comes on, that's it, we've lost him.
Oh, this is a reminder for me in editing. Cut this bit out.
Here we
Right,
go.
welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Chad had a technical error. It happened. It's fine. We were busy talking to Penny about her world number 1 path. Was there anything else you wanted to say on your world number 1 path? Or was that pretty much it?
No, apart from the fact, Brady Ellison. Right. I have no issues with him. I love the man, okay? But I was terrified of that man because I'd never spoken to him before. It was my first ever World Cup season, and he's a really good archer, so I was just terrified, and you know what I'm like. I made it through to the final. Yeah, I made it through to the final 4 at the Paris World Cup. Yippee, good for me. I beat Ansan, which was pretty cool. Anyway, getting off track. He high-fived me right before my match, yeah? And that made me so nervous afterwards, bless him, that I couldn't concentrate. It's not his fault I lost the matches, but like...
I'm going to tag him in this episode and just say Penny badmouthed you.
It's not your fault, but I'm going to name you profusely.
I'll never forget, in Colombia, it was my first senior World Cup. I was stood with Duncan Busby, our coach. Me and Ravo were both there. And he referred to Duncan, talking about me, Ravo and Neil, as it was like herding wild kittens. I was stood there, gobsmacked, the world number 1 at the time, I think he was, and again, great archer. I was a little bit starstruck, as I still get. And it was just one of those ones where you go, what did you just call us? And Duncan just agreed, because he's right. It was probably like herding wild kittens when we were about. But yeah, great bloke. Funny. So, let's move to a less serious question. And it is the reason all 4 of us, if you wish to, are drinking Corona. This is not a plug. This is because
Hashtag not sponsored.
Not sponsored.
This
If they
is
want to, they can.
Alcoholism.
Makes it better with lime.
Yeah. I have lime, Ravo's is frozen. So Penny, other than Corona, what are your favourite drinks to have?
Tequila.
Tequila, good choice.
Oh, God. That sounds like a mess waiting to happen.
You had tequila at our engagement party.
Were you actually? Oh, you did? You've already had your engagement party. Damn it.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have gone to the Eames.
No, you should have, because I remember you winning and going, that's a fair excuse for not being at the engagement party, winning an international World Series. I was like, yeah, fair enough.
But don't worry, there is more chance to drink.
There's a lot more drinking opportunities.
In my head, I was like, if I bottle this now, I've just not gone to their engagement party for like no reason.
Wow.
That's how you know it's meant to be a good party, when someone that's in like the top 4 is going, if I bottle it, it's a waste of time.
So when people ask you what goes through your head at a final match, at something like Nîmes, if I bottle this, I should have just gone to the engagement party. That's what goes through your head.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, then you need to keep doing it, because you didn't drop a point in the final at Nîmes.
I know.
Yes, we are going to move on to Nîmes, because that was a showcase and a half. But that is also how you know engagement parties are well planned. People don't want to miss them. I'm not going to say you missed an awesome night. However, my future father-in-law, there is videos of it, was dancing on tables.
No one needs.
No one.
Yes, so
Video.
No, I'll send you the video later.
No.
And I know for a fact he's going to be listening. So, Steve, you know there's video evidence of this, and many eyewitness accounts.
And he takes his clothes off for a $5.
Yes, there's also a video of that. No, God. Right, back on topic. So, something I've got now we made a little brief before the episode. You obviously do Instagram a lot. You post about how you train. You ask people to ask you questions. Is there one question you get asked so often and are so sick of repeating, you want to answer it for one final time, and you can just refer people back to it?
No, because no one's going to listen to me. Because I say it so many times, and it's like my biggest pet peeve, and nobody listens to me. They always ask it every single time. I even did the post one time, and nobody listened to me. It's about how I used to draw.
Oh,
Oh, I love
was
how
it
I
not a
used to
sky
draw.
draw?
Literally, it's not. Okay? I'm so stressed about it because like it's not. I'm not drawing before I'm like below eye level. I didn't even draw until I was level, like all in line. So people can't really say anything about that. Hence, a judge never pulled me on it. And if a judge pulled me on it,
Before
say
you
again.
draw though, your long rod does pretty much touch the clouds,
That's a cloud's
and then you
problem,
pull
not
back.
mine.
She's not the only one.
Specifically, for anyone listening, a real
The
long
ceiling.
rod before she draws.
But
So let's try and nip this in the bud. Why do you use your preset or your set position up at there?
Why are you a
Right.
clout shooter before you draw back?
Well, I did longbow. No. Well, actually, my shoulder would not set into place, and my coach at the time was like, "Oh, maybe just come up a little bit higher." But me being 16-year-old me, over-exaggerated everything, and it just seemed to work. I don't do it anymore as dramatic. I literally just come up to eye level now, but that's because I now have the strength of my shoulder. But I will say this over and over and over again. I love that people want to copy it, but please don't. Because so many chances I see that people have done it wrong, they got told off by judges for it because they're not doing it right, or they've got hurt by it, and I'm like, just don't. I've said it so many times, and I really appreciate it, but my technique is my technique, and that's what works for me. You know, you wouldn't see me
Archery is a
challenging
sport of individuality. Do
exactly.
not try and copy your heroes. It never works.
It, sometimes it
On the
might, but
compound side, if you try and shoot like Mike Schlosser, you will break something.
Your wrist when you
Mm-hmm.
Do not try and shoot like Penny. There's the disclaimer.
And this is
So,
it. But you work with a coach, a specific coach, and your coach has turned around and said that. And I'm guessing your coach has gone, you know what? It's working for you. Crack on. It's not harming anyone else. And that's
yeah, like,
where your coach is. That's where the sign of a good coach. It's working for you, not
yeah.
putting a generic stamp on everyone, right?
Yeah, like it wasn't hurting me. I was actually shooting a lot better, and my technique was actually looking a lot better. So he just kind of went, you know what? It's working. Go for it. So yeah. I mean,
coaching is
I
a
won the
big
Indoor
thing
World
of
Series like it. Say it again.
I say coaching is a huge thing of knowing what works for the athlete. You can't make
Yeah.
everyone shoot the same, because if we did, then the scores would all be the same. It's making something fit you. I mean, one of our possibly future guests is a great personal coach called Jamie, and he shoots with one arm. He can't shoot in a conventional way because he has no use of his right arm, so he shoots with a harness. But it's learning to adapt to a person's situation. So for any coaches listening, no one needs to be the same. Make sure they shoot their best, not everyone else's. Oh, this is already going to be like one of those episodes where you tell people what to do. Wow, we're only 20 minutes in. Wow, there we go.
It's also serious. Jess, you brought Jess. No, Jess is sat on the floor. Penny, you brought all the seriousness to the podcast.
It's because I'm a recurve.
Yeah.
yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah. What
What
you
is
say?
the seriousness of Olympians?
Recurves don't do fun. Is that what you're saying?
Um,
They're the opposite sides of the same coin, aren't they? So they can't be in the same place at the same time. Fun and recurves. Opposite side of the magnet don't work.
So, but, I guess the big question is, at what stage in life, how many Olympics are you going to do until you switch to the dark side?
I did joke, to be fair, I was going to do this Olympics in Top Compound, but that obviously didn't happen.
I've said many times, come up here and we'll teach you compound. There's a nice
Exactly.
little prestige,
Oh.
Matthew Prestige from the early 2000s. Probably fit your draw length fine.
Not yet.
Okay. Not yet.
Once she's won the Olympics, then we'll teach her compound.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, because Will, my boyfriend, this is going to sound really soppy, but he was like, you have to do at least 3 Olympic Games before I will propose to you. So, not that I've been asking him to propose, because it's been a year and a bit, honey. Calm down. But,
So you need a 12-year relationship, basically, at a minimum.
Yeah. I don't know if I can go that long. No.
And does your boyfriend make a good archery wag?
You know what? He does the best that he can. He's recently done his beginner's course to try and understand how hard archery actually is, which then he did turn around to me and say, this is piss easy. But no. He gets very nervous, bless him, but he does very well. He gets very excited as well whenever I do well. So, hats off to him.
I'm going to make a tangent here from the whole archery podcast. Will does racing, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does go-karting.
Yes. Like, So Will is working at a much quicker reaction time and probably a hell of a lot of a faster speed than we do.
Mm-hmm.
But archery's still intimidating. That really shows you something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So obviously, you're a world level archer. What level of go-karting is he at? Is there a world level go-karting? Kids?
Yeah,
I mean, I'm kind of picturing him on a little like kids tractor with pedals and stuff going around corners.
It's a little tractor going around. I think he's on national. He does national events. That classes as national, doesn't it?
Yeah.
He does national events. There you go.
I suppose you'd argue if he raced for GB, if there is a GB team, it'd be international.
I don't know.
That's how I'd class international archers.
Yeah. Except you don't have to. Well, he currently rents a car at the competition. But, like, he'd have to buy his own car and then figure out how to fix his own car at the competition, all this kind of thing. Basically, like archery, but a lot faster and a lot more scarier to watch.
So, we've obviously seen him at competitions. Do you go to go-karting competitions as the first question?
Like, if I'm not on trips, I go to them.
And as a follow-on question to that, has anyone ever noticed you as, oh my goodness, it's Penny Healey at a go-karting race?
No, archery's not that good.
No.
No one's ever went, oh my god, that's an Olympian at this event.
No, I wish I had that level of thing. Oh my god, no. But fun fact, in the gym the other day, somebody went, "You're that archer," and I went, "Yeah, I am." It was pretty cool.
You're damn right I
Hold
am.
on, which archer is this? Is this a good archer? Is this someone I want to be associated with?
Are you controversial? Yes.
The real reason we got Penny on the podcast: make controversial comments, give us media.
How quickly can we get?
Say something controversial.
How quickly can we get Penny cancelled? Well then, if we're going to get back to it, names. That was your big competition, I believe.
Yeah.
Names.
Back to archery. How was Neems?
It was good. There was a lot of people.
That's Neems. Always is.
Like a lot of people.
It's one of the, if I remember correctly, it's one of the busiest ones they've ever had this year. It's really ramping back up again.
Yeah. It was good. It was just lots of people trying to talk to me at once. And you know what I'm like? I'm like, people, hello. Look, somebody gave me a duck that looks exactly like me. had blue hair and had a fringe, and I thought I wouldn't be that duck one day, so I cut a fringe. So
So now we know the reason of Penny's hair change. People give her ducks.
It's all right. If you've ever been out with Penny somewhere, she generally gives you a stone.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't done that in
Look,
ages.
She's a little bit like an otter.
Lucky
If you ever-
stones.
If you know otters, they give people presents of little like pebbles to show their affection, and that's Penny.
Right.
I'm literally not her.
Penny is an otter.
There's your
That's the
spirit
best
animal.
reference.
So Neems, run us through, because Neems is that's your second gold medal in Neems in 7 years, isn't it? You won in, was it 2018? I'm really
Yes.
pulling that out of nowhere here, like.
Yes.
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 Yeah. I've done my research.
When I was
It's not like I literally have your World Archery page open and could have scrolled down to it. That's what I'm doing now.
I don't think it's on there because it was in the under 15 category.
So that was a June.
Yeah, so your first one on here is 2020.
What
So,
was 2023? What was 2023 in Neems?
I got bronze.
Yeah. I can confirm I have it here.
Because
So-
I shot a beautiful 8 in the shooter.
So
Under 15s.
So this year, obviously you won it. We all know that. We've said that before. Where did you qualify?
11. Here you go. Yeah.
Did I qualify?
Who ones?
11. We're
Yeah.
going with 11th like that. Okay.
Better than 11.
11th.
See,
And
I'm the
Go
proof
on.
that qualification doesn't matter.
I was going to say, where's your head go when you qualify 11th? Do you still focus on winning each match? You're still going through it the same way of keeping your game plan to slay?
Yeah. No, I have I never expected Rainbow Space but, every competition I have a set of goals that I want to do, which is very recurve of me. And basically my whole thing for Neems was, okay, I know I can shoot qualification now, I know I can shoot well at it. All that really I want to work on this time is because my head-to-heads they weren't bad, but I got knocked out like first or second round in GT. So I was like, okay, I want to work on my head-to-heads this time. Same with like, what was it, Antalya World Cup in 23. I qualified quite low. Not quite. I feel like it was probably in the 20s.
24th.
But there we go, 24th. But in my head, all I had was, okay, well, I may have shot quite badly in qualification, but there's still head-to-heads to go. You know, like, at the end of the day, no matter who you're against, it's literally just a name on their back. And
You thought you'd take it easy through qualification, then take out the top seeds.
Yeah, make it easy for myself.
Well,
Plus, also every time I've qualified high in a tournament, I've had somebody really good, like second round, where they're like, you shouldn't have qualified there. Why are you against me now? But they are because they didn't have the best qualification day. So maybe qualifying low is my thing.
wait, yeah.
Middle of the
Looking at the matches, you up until the semi-finals, you only dropped 1 point. 7-1, 6-0, 6-0.
It was pretty cool.
Why did you do it?
Did it feel as easy as it looks on paper?
Yeah. No. It never does.
What do you
Everyone always
mean?
says that. I'm like,
You had to work for it, did you?
damn it! Why couldn't you have given it to me? Like, no, but yeah, like I had Tatiana like quarterfinals,
Yep.
didn't I?
Yeah.
Which she's not an easy competitor to have, so I had to work in that match.
It looked like it worked well. It's 6-0.
Yeah.
I'd say your finals match was quite a bit. Was that the one where you shot 12 10s?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Am I pulling
didn't
that
drop a
from
point in a gold
yeah.
match. 6-2. That's going some, even with a recurve 10. I know it's a bit bigger than the 10 that we shoot at, but I'll give you that.
I've been
that's difficult enough to do
Yeah.
on the practice range, let alone on a finals field with a camera in your face and the lights down low. Did you know that he was going?
Did you see my interview?
When you was doing it, or did you not pay attention? Did you not worry about stuff like that when you did?
No. I really struggled last year with like my timing and technique stuff. So, like anytime I had just 20 seconds on the clock, my brain would be like, "You must wait till the 10 seconds. You must wait till then because you cannot physically let go of it before then." So, like that, my whole thing for the match was just shoot it. Like, you shoot it, it's gonna go inside the 10. There's not really much more you can do, you know. So yeah.
It's a good mindset to have going into a gold medal match. Just shoot your arrows. If you do them right, if you know you're doing them to your standard, they'll be fine.
Yeah. You know what the funny thing was? Literally right before the match, I think I turned around to Natasha, who was my coach in the box, and was like, "Wouldn't it be funny if I shot a perfect match right now?" And then I went out and shot a perfect match, and then like turned around to her and was like, "I'm really confused right now." Like I just spoke it into
Did that
existence.
really just
actually happened? Yeah.
Yeah, we saw the look on your face when you turned around and was told that you'd won. You look confused.
Yeah.
No, it's harder than this.
But when you're like against the Italians, like the Italians are really good, and then when I'm against Lucilla, I think it was, I was like, wait, what? Like I don't think I've ever beaten this girl before. What just happened?
Well, there's a first time for everything, and in a gold medal match, the first time to beat someone's a damn good time to do it.
Yeah.
So Penny, you've won indoors, big competitions indoors. You've won big competitions at target, 70 metres. When are you going to come around a field course?
I'm terrified of it. What if I miss? What if I miss and break the
I'm
next
going to ask her live on air. What are you doing?
What if I miss?
March?
Penny Healey, if you miss, then yes, we will all rip it out of you for years to come. Don't miss.
How am I meant to know what the distance is? Genuine, I was literally talking about this today. How am I meant to know what the distance is? And like Colin and Sophie,
you have a ranging system.
No. How about you start on a marked day? Start on a marked day and like learn it first. Do some shots on some field faces and then learn to measure.
Yeah.
Come and do Dern Valley with us. We're recording it anyway. We've got a spare microphone. Make it fun.
When is it?
22nd of March.
Ooh. I'll see. Because I've got...
going through now.
This might be a live on air booking in of a tournament. Well, an open day. It's not a competition. It's just an open day.
So before this podcast goes out, I need to book in because now that we might have Penny Healey going, the thing's going to book up quickly. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, go and book because I've already asked them if we can record.
Yeah, I just keep forgetting to book.
Right. Do you want to book for you?
I'll find it. Anyway, so you're going to
we'll talk about this after the call. Let's move back
Penny,
to the...
I've got to say, your bottle of Corona looks so much bigger than mine. If you've got like little tiny hands, I mean, Chad does look like he's got a big bottle. You've got the massive bottle. Look, Penny's got little hands. She needs 2 hands to hold a bottle.
It's a small. You know those girls that used to, oh god no, I can't say that, I'm going to get cancelled.
Yeah, please don't cancel yourself on this podcast. I do not want to be the reason that Penny Healey gets blacklisted from archery.
Damn.
Let's move back to archery. Speaking of that, so we've talked about names. You've talked about the win there. Obviously, it's the second gold medal you've shot there. What's next on your calendar?
Vegas. I can say that. I'm doing Vegas.
Nice.
Ooh.
Are you
And
old
I'll
enough
be
to drink in
turning-
Vegas?
No. I'll be turning 20 out there. So, anybody listening to this, if you want to come to my birthday dinner, please come to my birthday dinner.
Oh, that's
I'll
a
be
risky
here.
thing to say on a podcast full of archers.
You're going to get 100 Brits. You're going to get 100 Brits all signing up to Vegas just so they can come to your.
At least she puts it out on
birthday
Facebook. There ain't no 100 people watching this or listening to this. Ain't no way.
You never know.
Word of confidence from Chad there. You forget we have Penny Healey. She
Episode.
has 12,000 followers on Instagram.
Guys, stop.
Terrifying.
Stop,
This is
stop
the reason that
boosting
we
my
actually
ego.
got like 40 followers. So you've got Vegas next. How are you preparing for Vegas? Are you doing anything yet, or are you leaving it a bit later in the month till closer to the time?
I'm trying to wait.
You're not shooting
till-
70 metres, are you? You're not out at 70 metres, are you?
I am.
Really?
Yeah. I am currently.
Keeping it real.
I got kind of bored. I literally went, you know what, like, I'm gonna do memes. And, like, in my head, I was like, I'm not doing Vegas. Never doing Vegas again. Like, not until I'm 21. And then, like, won memes and went, damn it. Like, I have to do it now. So, yeah.
I've said
been
I was
doing
never going to do
some
Vegas
pictures.
till I was 21.
No. I did it when I was 16 and I hated
And then I
it.
turned 21 and went, nah, I'm still not bothered.
It's really
So yes,
expensive.
preparation
though.
for Vegas.
Yeah, prep for Vegas.
So when did you,
I'm waiting till
when
2 weeks before.
God. You cut it a bit close.
I mean, she shoots 6 days a week, so that's like us starting practicing for Vegas like a month or two before.
Maybe
Yeah.
getting ready in November the year before.
Scrapping the outdoor season and just shooting indoors.
So basically, we got our Olympic place in 2028.
Yes, guys, so I'm prepping for Vegas in May this year, and I'm going to keep shooting until then. So if you guys want to join me and miss out on outdoor season with me,
I think I'd rather chop an arm off than do that. Like, quite seriously, I hate indoors. I would not willingly shoot indoors 18 metres for 6 months during the warm months. It's a means to an end during the winter, but oh, that's really cutting it fine, like.
That's will be.
Such a concerned
I was
face.
just expecting her to like have a new hairstyle when she come back on or something.
It's pink now. Penny, your camera's frozen, but you look so concerned. I really hope this goes into the recording.
Is
There we go. Oh.
How do I breathe? Am I still frozen? I'm genuinely concerned.
No, you're good now. No, you're good. You're moving again. Back
Okay,
to
cool.
life. Right,
Yay.
we're hitting the 45-minute mark in recording, which is our usual time for a little bit of a break, if everyone fancies it.
Hold on. Just before we leave
Ooh.
Vegas, what are you most looking forward to in Vegas? And don't say the shoot. Come, what have you planned to do in Vegas? Okay, so let's start you off. When are you flying out to Vegas? How far ahead of the shoot are you going?
Flying out on the Monday because Will's coming as well. So
Okay, and when are you flying back?
The Monday. After.
In the evening, I take it. Don't try and get yourself up early Monday morning. Sunday night is party night.
Hey, no
She's
illegal
20, she
activities will
can't
be
drink.
happening. I'll be 20
She can
years
go
old.
shoot guns. You can go shoot guns on the Monday, though.
No.
No. If you do, please get a video. I'm going to put that up as some form of like promotion for this.
You could do, those people who do those like really cool edits, or I say cool, but like really cringy on TikTok, where they're like, bam, 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 welcome to the podcast, and like flames a random raccoon with like a gun or something and sunglasses and.
Penny, you just badmouthed my intro. Damn it. There is sorry, I'm going to interrupt. There is actually quite a high possibility this might come out around that time. This is going to be like,
When?
what's it, 4 weeks after the 15th. So there's a high possibility this is coming out after Vegas.
Oh, maybe we should try and get some little video clips of Penny in Vegas.
But,
Do like
yeah,
a montage.
the likelihood is this episode will come out on the 15th of March.
Penny will be 20.
Yeah?
I'm 20. You're 20? Sorry.
If Penny's free during Vegas, we might do one of these during Vegas and actually upload it around the same time as a follow-up episode. Might give you a 2-for-1 on that.
I'll send you like a montage of me eating as much fast food as I can, and then like visiting something weird with a bunch of sunglasses on, like, way.
There's got to be like an Elvis museum or some form of musician's museum over in Vegas. You've got to go and visit that. Dark shade, black hoodie.
If I do send you videos, of me out there, please can we scare my parents and Will's parents and have me and Will at the drive-through marriage bit pretending.
Yes.
If it gets your parents to this podcast, 100%.
You'll get Ryan on and you'll be like, I hate her. Had to deal with her too long.
What, does he want to go to your wedding? Does he want to dress up in a suit?
I don't know.
Does he own a suit?
Probably
I
not.
can't imagine Ryan as a suit man.
So, you know what? They got married out in Vegas, and I had no clue they were getting married. And from what I've been told, the only people that knew was Bryony and Alex. And I was thinking I was having a fun day out with Bryony, and then come back to the hotel room.
Oh, please tell me your mom knew about it as well.
So you're not going out to Vegas for the revenge attack?
Right. I think that's a really good point to stop for a 5-minute break. That's going to be the teaser for this episode. Everyone listening, we will be back in about 5 minutes. It'll be about a second for you, so see you in a minute. You make yourself look like a really shit vampire. That was bad timing.
No, he's done it now. That's it.
That's going in the episode. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Bulls and Beers podcast. We've taken what was a much longer break after Penny had some technical issues during our break.
Sorry.
So we're going to get right back into it because this is going to be such a long episode. So we've talked about names, we've talked about your upcoming tournaments. I suppose next on our questions list is, have you made any changes over the indoor season that's getting you ready for the outdoor season, or are you just going exactly the same as it was last year?
Technical changes.
Technical, form, mental. Mental changes is a big one.
Oh, a lot.
A lot?
Yeah. It doesn't look it. I don't come up as high anymore, which people may have seen on the stream.
So you're no longer shooting a clout, okay.
Yeah, I no longer shoot clout. I also, my pause I do normally like right next to my chin. I'm actually doing halfway out. if you get what I mean.
3.5 draw rather than a
Um,
9/10 draw.
yeah.
So
So I put like half
stopping
the effort
here
in
rather
instead
than
of
yeah.
like, yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Like I used to like here, and now it's probably about there.
And what's that done for you? I mean, obviously it's helped. It's working.
Well, what Alexander Wise said to me at the end of the season, because I would get to my chin and stop moving and then panic, thinking I can't let go of a shot. He would go, Penny's thing for the next 4 years is to stop stopping. So that was my way of stopping, because I'd always stop before I got to my chin. So yeah.
Makes sense.
Fair enough.
Thanks, Alex Wise.
Alexander Wise, another local northerner to me. He's about 5 miles away from where I am. Well, was.
Oh, so there are good archers from the north then.
Oh, get stuffed. Is there any other major changes you've made, or anything you want to talk about your changes?
My mental routine's changed a lot. And I went to physics. Oh my god, that's the elephant in the room. I swapped to physics.
So just a little equipment change there.
Just a small one, teeny tiny.
So we'll cut to a later question I had. So obviously we all knew you'd moved to physics. It was a grand debut of that at Nîmes with a gold medal.
Physics make lots of different things though. So be more specific. What are you shooting of physics equipment?
Physics riser, limbs. I'm gonna, hopefully by the time this comes out, I will be shooting a physics stabilizer setup, because they're actually quite good. I'm using the Scali TX, both limbs and riser, which is really good. It's really nice, and it helps me a lot with. It's a very forgiving bow, which is what I needed for the season, and it's also helped me a lot with technical changes. So I was struggling a lot before to like get my hand into the grip properly, whereas now it's a lot easier for me.
So when you're saying forgiving, for people that don't know what forgiveness is in a bow, how would you describe it?
Kind of like where the arrows would go. So like, I don't want to give an example, but with this bow, where I'd probably be like, oh my god, that was the shittest shot in the world, I've just fucked my score, it's probably like an 8 at worst, which is probably a mixture of a lot of things, but also the bow is very forgiving, which is very helpful in that sense. And I used to be really hard on myself, being like, if you shoot anything outside the 8, you're a bad archer, when like I don't really need to be perfect all the time.
And have you made any like little tweaks to the riser that other people wouldn't know about, wouldn't try? Is it just straight down alignment? I don't know. What would you change on a recurve?
Alignment, tiller, knocking point.
The tiller.
Aftermarket grips?
Not really much. What I found with the Scali bow to make it work the best was to have the limbs wound in as much as you can. So that helped me get the best performance out of the bow. So anybody using a Scali out there, that's a little tip that I learned from my teammates.
So any other new sponsors for the upcoming season?
All the same apart from physics.
Do you want to give us a rundown of your sponsors? Make them happy?
Here we go then. I'll give them even more. No. Shibuya.
We've not got that long.
Shibuya Physics. Biter, I'd say, is one, but they don't really sponsor archers. Fairweather. Who else? Physics. I've said Shibuya, haven't I?
Yes.
If we go
But you
away
can say
from
them again.
Oh,
Say them as many times as you like.
should be everywhere. XS wings. I think Eastern.
String?
They help me
Have
out.
you got string?
My stepdad makes them, so shout out to Twisted Strings. Also, RIP to Twisted Strings. That's really it. Anytime Fitness Telford sponsors me. There you go. I've got my
If
tag
you're in
in
the
for
Telford
me.
area, go and check out Anytime
There
Fitness.
we go. Anytime Fitness.
There you go.
That's really it.
Cool.
There we go.
Who
There's
sponsors
a
you?
sponsor.
What's
Chat and
that?
Rave will
What's that?
answer
Sorry, I
that
missed
now
that.
and sorting things out. Sponsors. Go and talk about your sponsors.
Ben's great. Simon's great. Happy days.
Ben Jones of Maibo Archery and Merlin Archery. And Simon Scott of Rainbow Strings.
I'll just say the MDs of these companies and hope that everyone knows which company it is.
Yeah, so I'm Maibo Merlin, which is Ben, and Rain, strings and bloodline material through Rain. So yeah, the big ones are Ben and Simon. So I used to have more. I used to have Bonin. I used to have Stan. I kind of let them go so that I could try other stuff. So yeah, I'm shooting a Scott Release 8 at the moment. Still shooting the Bonin stuff because the other stuff that I tried, it didn't work as well as the Bonin stuff. I've always got on with Bonin. I know there's a lot of other companies out there, but I've never got any better results than what I got with Bonin. So even though I'm not sponsored by them, I still shoot their stuff.
Right. I've got to ask Penny. You shoot the Scuddy, what was it? TX riser.
Yeah.
Do you shoot the Scuddy finger tab to go with
Fairweather,
it? Who's
surely.
your finger tab?
She just said.
Fairweather.
Yeah. I'm
Is that what you
devoted
said?
to Fairweather.
Nice. They seem to be quite a popular choice, to be fair.
They're really good. Like, for the recurve side, I don't know. Oh my god. I doubt you guys would shoot a finger tab full compound. But
Depends on the day. It feels like I do sometimes.
they're really easy to like shoot in, and they're quite reliable. Who's that? That's not you.
That's me.
You look like a divorced old man.
I can shoot a recurve.
For those who are just listening,
I wouldn't
not
say
watching the video version, that is Rainbow shooting a recurve.
What do you reckon to the form? This is my midlife crisis. I've already done my motorbike years, so
red motorbike.
I red motorbike. I've never had a red motorbike. I only ever had one motorbike. I had it for years. It was blue. But no, I shoot a recurve too. Not very well. I'm obviously not known for my recurve days. But sometimes I can shoot a recurve half decent.
For those listening, I actually hold, I think it's 2 or 3 maxed out club records with a recurve.
Nice.
Actually?
Yeah, I shot it for like 3 months and took the 252 records at the club, maxed them out at 20, 30 and 40, I think.
That's pretty cool.
See, you see, you Olympic people, you're recurve archers. Us compounds, because we, have a bit of fun and do it how we want to do it. We mix it all up.
What?
Versatile. We're versatile archers.
We're not compound archers. We're archers. You're definitely a recurve archer.
Oh, that's
got a longbow.
I've
got a longbow, but never recurve. I shot one arrow out of Verity's bow with a recurve, and I was told never to pick it up again.
Probably a wise choice.
In the back corner, just out of view for the video viewers, behind these things, where Jess's hand is, there is a flat bow There's an American flatbow back there that's my mum's. I used to shoot that a lot. I've shot every bow class under the sun in field archery. So yeah, versatile. Managed to get over my raging recurve target panic with a clicker.
Nice.
I used to get here and just go... Nope, fixed it. I used to get to my chain and let go, but by having a clicker on my brain, I went, no, you need to get here and make it click before you let go, and it worked.
There you
So
go.
there's one for anyone with target panic to try. Are you trying to click?
No, don't do it! Don't do it!
I can't wait to see someone like cable tying a clicker to their compound. Well, Dylan said, try this.
You try a click compound. Come and see me. I'll give you the release aid that goes click, and you'll throw it in a bush like I did.
Clickers with a compound, it is possible to attach onto the string through, I think it's called the clickety-clack. It's a traditional bow clicker. Never tried it, don't fancy trying it. If you do, let us know. Write in.
Write in, we'll look at it, we'll shake our heads and never look at it again.
Yeah, shake our heads, have a small mental breakdown, and never look again because it will scare us. So, back to...
Penny, have you ever tried a compound? Like, ever?
Yeah.
A single arrow out of a compound?
Yes.
You have?
It was the best experience of my life.
Good answer.
There we go. That's 50 quid, please.
That's your proudest achievement there, shooting a compound.
What got you interested in archery in the first place? Was it recurve, or was it just something random?
The movie Brave. You know,
Good
little
choice.
Merida on a horse with a little, I don't know what it was. Probably a horse. A bow to do with a horse.
On a horse with targets hanging from the trees?
Yes.
I have kids.
And
I've seen this film.
I looked at her and went, I want to be as cool as you. So,
I think you did a bit better by being world number one.
So, Penny, can you ride a horse?
I used to do horse riding. I sound like such a posh person. I'm like the furthest thing from it. But
Could it be the fact that someone in your family owns ostriches? Ostriches or emus that make you sound posh?
Emus. Probably.
Emus.
Or the fact that I did horse riding and then went to archery.
Have you ever tried shooting your bow from horseback?
No.
See,
Here's another thing we're going to do live on this podcast. There is an archery club that does allow horseback archery in my area.
I believe there's a few in the country.
Yeah, I know someone whose daughter does horseback archery, so I know what we're arranging for a video at some point during the summer.
I thought it was illegal.
No, it's not illegal. I know someone that does it competitively.
I didn't know there was a place in Newcastle. I heard there was a place down south somewhere, down southwest.
It's Durham for us, which is a little further south than us, but doable.
But it's
that.
You don't have to know how to shoot. You don't have to know how to ride a horse, but they'll teach you both in a day.
Oh, that sounds dodgy.
That's quite a challenge.
I looked at looking at horseback riding because I think it'd be quite a cool skill. I'm too fat, apparently. The weight limit for most horse riding classes is like 12 or 13 stone. That ain't happening.
I was going to say, if you ever expect me or Chad to do it, make sure you've got a strong horse.
Workhorse.
The horse that I rode in Vegas was a big, old horse that weren't getting moved by my weight or anyone else's weight. Not the kind of horse you do archery off the back of.
Well, you could. You just have plenty of time to aim.
Oh, yeah.
It, right?
It'd be like shooting normally. The horse did not
Be like shooting but walking at 2 miles an hour. So, Chad actually managed to touch on one of the questions that I've been asked to ask you by one of our upcoming junior women archers called Chloe. And I've been told she's going to listen to this. So, hi,
Yeah, sorry,
Chloe.
I stole your
Hi.
question.
Okay, well, I wasn't going to say that you stole my question because we all have the same PowerPoint. I was trying to let you
No,
be
everyone that
intellectual.
knows me knows that's not going to happen.
So I have 2 extra questions from you that Chloe's asked, and I won't make her listen to the end to actually hear what the answers are because she's probably turned off by now anyway with all the random things we've been talking about. So the other questions are: do you enjoy the big tournaments? Are they a bit stressful?
Honestly, I find national shoots more stressful. Like,
Right.
that's probably the craziest thing somebody's ever said. But I went through a period where I was more nervous for a national shoot than an international because I was more used to being at an international compared to being at a national. Which sounds crazy, but it's true. So, yeah.
Do you not feel that when you get to that point that when you shoot in a national, because it's not an international, you're expected to hit a certain level no matter what because it's a national, not international? So it puts that extra bit of pressure on, even if it's coming from yourself as well. It's only a national, I should be doing at least top 3 rather than just going into it and shooting normal.
Yeah, I mean, like, when I was world number 1, it wasn't the nicest to turn up to a national shoot because everybody would be like, oh, congrats. Like, it was nice having everyone come up to me and be like, oh, congrats for, like, the other week, all that kind of thing. And then on top of that thinking, well, if I do not finish first right now, you know, like, everybody's going to say something or someone's going to be like, well, why has she done that? You know what I mean? Whether that was just coming from myself or stuff that was actually happening, there was quite a lot of pressure to do a national shoot.
I'm going to say something that's probably going to turn out quite controversial.
Oh, God.
But I think a lot of club, county, regional archers, when they come up and shoot against world number 1, expect them to be lights out every single day of every single tournament they ever shoot. And it's not. People are human. People have bad days, people have off days, even at such a high level. I mean, it's something I dealt with after shooting for GB in a couple of places, coming back like county level shoots and being beaten and not knowing how to be beat, if that makes sense. Losing with someone where you go, well, I shouldn't lose, but it wasn't a good day.
Yeah.
And it's something only in like recent months I've actually figured out how to cope with, because it's just one of those things. I think when you compete at a high level and then come back to a lower level shoot, you look and go, well, why is this happening? It's because we're human. People need to learn to be human a lot more often, and people need to start thinking that everyone's human. No one's a shooting machine, except for the machine they have in South Korea. It's the only archery machine there is. But yeah, I think I understand that sentiment a lot of coming back and worrying about the smaller shoots rather than the big international ones.
When you're shooting internationally, everyone's world class. So yeah, you can face being beaten quite easily because you kind of half expect it at times, don't you? Because everyone's world class. You come back home and you compete on a national level, and you always find there's someone that's just having a particularly good day and a particularly good match, and they come through guns a-blazing. And yeah, they just smash it out of the park, don't they? And you walk back from it and you're like, I've had it when I've hit those competitions, and you kind of lose a bit of, or I lost a bit of interest in it because thinking, this guy's he's just smashing it here. And then actually the end result wasn't too great, but I'd lost interest in it. But yeah, you get some matches like that, but you get others where people have a really good day. You get somebody come out, like say, guns are blazing, shoots a couple of points off the maximum score, and you're just like, congratulations, where did that come from?
Yeah, I've got angry at a couple of shoots after I got good when I've lost matches that at the time I was like, oh, I shouldn't have lost that. You know, I've shot for GB. Why am I losing matches like this? Comes across as arrogance, but a lot of the time it's just anger at myself that the fact that I didn't put enough into it to actually get the win. You're not shooting against other people most of the time. You're shooting against yourself, and if you can't get yourself in the headspace, it doesn't matter who you're up against. You're beating yourself rather than them beating you.
Yeah, and that's like a thing. Like, I used to go to a national shoot or whatever, and in my head, like, if I dropped below a 650 or a 655, I'd had the worst day ever. I wasn't like good enough to go back and shoot internationally, all this kind of thing. Like, I'd throw like not a huge fit, but like I'd be quite upset with myself. But like to other people watching it who aren't at that standard, because it was a bad day for me, like I was really upset about it. But somebody else would be like, "Well, why are you upset?" And like in a sense, they kind of dismissed the fact that I was really upset with the fact I'd shot so badly in my head. Which I think is another thing about national shoots. There is also like that pressure with, yeah, I could shoot still a 650 and I could still be like so much higher than everyone else, but then also I could shoot a 640 something and be like, I've had a horrible day, and like express that to somebody, and then somebody nearby could be like, oh, well, why is she saying that? Like, that's quite rude. And there was also that kind of pressure as well.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing worse than that comment of, oh, well, I've shot a 640. Well, it could be worse. You could have shot a 620 like I did.
Yeah.
And it's like, yes, but there's different. I have a different way of holding myself. 640 for me is horrific. So, yeah, it's that whole thing of realizing where people are in their own heads. And it's hard. It's hard for a lot of people to understand sometimes.
Yeah, especially for people that have never shot to that standard or like that are aspiring to that standard. They're looking to get there, but they're not quite there yet. And it's like, oh, I wish I could shoot a 640. It's like, yeah, but I've been shooting 640s for 12 years. That's my low point. It doesn't mean you're wrong. It's just different perspectives.
Yeah, and the final question Chloe asked, and I'll say it, Chloe, it's a bit vague. What's it like when you are competing? Which I suppose you could look at from a couple standpoints, but I'm going to just ask the question, see what you come up with. What's it like when you are competing?
Right. You know the jellyfish jam from SpongeBob? That is what it's like when I compete.
No.
In my head.
Can you tell us more about this?
Two older hosts are currently going,
no, one of us is, what the hell? He's got kids. He understands what's going on. I'm lost.
My kids don't watch SpongeBob, fortunately.
If you're listening to this right now and you do not know what the jellyfish jam is, please put it on Spotify or something.
The jellyfish jam.
Yeah.
I think you should sing it. You should sing it to us.
Oh, I need somebody to be the bubbles. No,
I'm not getting a copyright strike. So I'm gonna refine the question a bit. What's it like in your head while you're competing? Described better than the jellyfish jam. What's it like being around people while you're competing? Are you a bit more of like an isolationist, where you just want to be in your own world and not have to come out of it? Or are you someone that thrives on people being around you and supporting you?
I'm sorry, I've just looked it up.
I don't know where to talk in the podcast.
Okay, yeah, I can understand that, funnily enough.
Yeah.
YouTube jellyfish jam.
I would say.
So, first, what's it like in your head?
What's it like in my head? Jellyfish, no.
Yes.
It is like that. That's like the simplest way to like explain it. But I feel like I'm very away with the fairies half the time, And like at full draw randomly, I've had to work a lot with. Sometimes I'll just think about full draw, like, what's that bird doing over there? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
The
yeah.
Is
ADHD
that?
mindset of, ooh, squirrel.
How far in the sky is it? And then like already I've shot the shot and I'm like, oh. But I feel like that kind of sums it up. And I'm a very people person, and I can shoot like not being around people and not speaking to people because I have the voices in my head. But
They tell me to shoot arrows.
they go, "You want to shoot now?" And I go, "Yeah." But no, I'm a very sociable person, so if there's somebody to talk to, I will chew your ear off. Like, I'm sure you guys have been around me. I will talk a lot.
I didn't think recurve spoke until I met you. To be fair.
It was
I think Paris was the best when you were spotting my arrows going, ooh, I think it's a 9. Thanks, Penny.
But like I feel like what sums it up as well is before my match with Neems, Natasha Homer, who was my coach in the box, was asking me what my favourite make of microwave was and that kind of thing. Like that's the kind of random stuff that will pop into both of our heads, and it helps us.
Yeah, fair enough.
Hold on. What is your favourite brand of microwave and why?
Right. The Samsung LG. I can't remember the numbers on it. No copyright to Samsung. But yeah, that's
But if you want to sponsor Penny,
it makes a really
send her a microwave.
Please.
We are not sponsored by Samsung microwaves. However, if they want to sponsor us and send us all a microwave, please do. Another question we had for you is, so this is going to sound quite soppy. You are arguably an idol to a lot of young female archers coming up because you've done it when you were young. Well, you are still young. You know what I mean? You did it when you were at a young age and you've really shown girl power. So when you were coming up in those younger ages and earlier ranks, who was your idol?
People like
Did you have...
Bryony, Kibo Bay, Kang Chae-young, and Chang Hai-jin. Those are like the kind of people I liked looking at and like look. But also like, this is going to sound really soppy to all the people that I used to be on academy with. I'm really sorry, but anybody older than me on academy, like Jack Macefield, Alicia Tremens-Ansel, those kind of people, like, I wanted to be them. So I was like, I'm going to hang out with you and do what you do. I essentially copied other people for like the first few years of my life. So,
Hi, friend.
yeah.
So on that note, what you're saying is to all these young girls that want to be like you, just hang out with you.
Yeah, just hang out with me, you know.
That's like the second invite to Vegas that you've done so far in this podcast.
I feel like this is becoming a safeguarding issue.
But she doesn't want to be that child at her own birthday party sat there with no friends. No one turned up.
I'll say it now, because I know what it's like. If you see Penny at a tournament, be respectful. Don't go and do it while...
Maybe wait until she's finished shooting.
Say hello. Yeah. Between ends, between distances, if it's a 14-40, which is probably really rare. Lunchtime. Say hello.
Unless in between ends, you're going to ask us something really random, nothing about archery. Because she's probably there to... She'd probably talk about random shit. But don't talk about archery.
Basically, 9 times out of 10, if you meet an archer you're an idol of, never talk about archery. I learned that years ago. No one ever wants to talk about archery.
Penny.
I know. Everyone has a lot more of a life than just archery. We want to talk and random shit, like Penny said. Talk about microwaves. Talk about something outside of it. Talk about the latest SpongeBob episode.
Or your favourite SpongeBob episode.
I've
got something in my head. How old were you when you started archery? 9?
9.
Okay. If there's people out there listening, and I hope they're not, that are of that age, what advice would you give to them starting out in archery if they wanted to get to where you are now?
Give to them or their parents, as their
And they
parents
should be vetting this heavily. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what advice would you give someone the same age as you when you started?
My advice is that you should start a scheme with your parents where if you get 3 in the gold, then they have to take you out to buy you something, or you go into their wallets and you see that nice plastic card inside it with like either some random bank name on it. You get into it and you ask for
It's a
money.
good job we said vetting this.
£1 per 10. Pay up.
I mean, as 9's quite a young age to start archery. I mean, it's a boring sport. We know this. It's not spectators. It's slow moving and everything. I mean, we love to watch it. You know, a lot of people do love to watch it. But what made it fun, and what made you want to carry on doing it get to this level when you were 9 years old?
I was very anxious. Sorry, I was a very anxious child. I would not leave my mum's side, and I think archery was the kind of thing that my mum was like, "You can leave me alone now. Go hang out with some random old men that do longbow." You know.
Hold on, your parents own like some farm animals, don't they? She wasn't trying to sell you for a goat, was she?
You know what? I wouldn't blame her at that point. I was probably really annoying.
For those that are ADHD inclined, there's a website you can find out how many goats and camels you are worth. There's one for you.
My wife already knows. She was offered camels.
I think I was worth 14.
9 million.
9 million camels. I didn't even know there was that many camels alive.
What? Hold on. You're worth 9 million.
She was when she was little. I don't think she.
Oh right, okay. I was going to say, I'd be surprised if you were. I'd be surprised if you were worth half a camel with three legs and cancer.
Yeah.
And we're 15 and a half goats. There you go.
Right, my goddamn ear.
So I'm gonna pause there. For those that are old enough, 16 plus, that's a reference from Dungeon Crawler Carl. Brilliant book. Go and read or listen to it. It's in the back of Chad's background there.
Yeah. Sorry, bud.
Right. How we doing for time?
We've got a little bit longer. Probably 2 or 3 more questions to ask. One of which, and he has a big question. You can tell because I've just opened up a new page. That's why I'm really white here. 3 questions. Can you describe your perfect shot? How does it feel? There's a deep one for you.
Really boring and recurvery. I don't feel like there is such thing as a perfect shot. There's just thing as a normal shot.
Good answer.
Penny's normal shot hits the middle and she smiles after it.
Exactly. Like, a normal shot is something that you end up enjoying. I got too much in my head, too young, that I needed to be perfect all the time. So, I feel my stepdad did a lot of work being like, just do a normal shot. So, I do not believe there is such thing as a perfect shot. There's only a normal one.
Good answer. I like that answer.
Good answer.
Thanks. Thanks, guys.
So, we're going to do 2 more quick fire questions.
But you are right, it was a bit boring.
Calm down.
2 quick fire questions, and we're going to finish up because we're at 2 hours of recording now. So we're getting
There's work for it. You sure?
Yeah. What thing would you like to see changed in archery over the next 4 years, the next Olympic season?
Cycle.
cycle. Same thing.
I'm going to see less people making target panic such a bigger thing. And that's controversial to
Yes,
say.
that's a brilliant answer.
Because everybody has it in their heads from when they start. I was at my boyfriend's beginner's course the other day, and they literally started talking about target panic already. I believe there is no such thing as target panic. It's only a slow process. So I feel like target panic is learned or taught. It's not something that you develop. It's just an anxiety because you're doing bad process. So there you go, people.
Basically, you cannot catch target panic. Us
You
talking about it, will
got
not
it.
get you to catch it.
Yes, sir.
So, for those not privy to our private messages, which none of you are, this podcast's original working name was the Target Panic Podcast. We were going to specifically talk to guests about if they had it and how they deal with it. Because it's not something that vanishes once you develop it. You have to work for it. And you have to keep on top of it. However, Bows and Beers is a lot better. So we're sticking with it.
Yes, it is.
But target panic is not something that should be stigmatized. It happens, and it can be fixed. Just find someone that can help
It sits
you.
in the back of everybody's head all the time. But
Yeah.
it's something that, like you say, it's not a thing unless you make it a thing. If you control it and control your thoughts, it's fine,
it's a game of what you focus on. If you're focusing on the fact you've got target panic, you've got target panic. If you focus on the fact that you want to hit the 10, you're going to hit the 10.
Yeah.
It's like if I said to you, you've lost the game, then you know you've lost the game.
You got it!
Oh, you absolute sod. And everyone's just turned the podcast off that knows what the game is. And everyone else is going, I'm really confused now. I can't lose the game. About 4 years ago, I came across a post on Facebook that said, "You've won the game." Haha. And final question, because this has been a long podcast with a break. What is your current season plan looking like? Your upcoming tournaments, outdoors, international, domestic, trying field, hint, hint.
I do not know plans for outdoor internationals so far because we have not had a selection shoot and we have not had anybody selected yet. But if I do get selected, I would love to do as many World Cups as I can, as many internationals as I can, as well as many national competitions as I can, because who doesn't love a national competition?
And some field shooting, right? This
Oh,
season
yeah,
has got to be Penny's first field shoot.
The 22nd of March.
For your 20th birthday, your treat is to do a field shoot.
Okay.
And
that sounds like so much fun.
if you do, we're recording it, and it's going to be a video of we introduce Penny Healey to field archery.
3 compounders teach a recurver the field archery.
4.
I couldn't see anything going wrong with that.
Me, you, Chad, and V.
Oh, and V as well. Okay.
Yeah.
Wait,
5
no,
on a
that's
field course.
no fun because V used to do target. Used to do recurve.
I don't think my producer should be allowed to drink while giving me notes because she thinks that Penny should be allowed to set the 3 of us a challenge.
Oh.
What a challenge? She said, any challenge. And in my head, I've got staples and it ain't happening.
And no, we're not going to
Archery
elaborate.
challenge.
Archery
for the 3 of us
Penny,
to
think
do.
of one, quick.
How much beer? No, I was going to say how much beer can you drink and then shoot, and realize that's probably very illegal and against every WADA protocol. So
Maybe you already done it.
So personally, no. WADA, please don't do anything now.
Stop trying to cancel yourself. Think of an archery challenge.
I'm panicking. I reckon you guys should have some kind of mini competition, and the person to lose, so person who finishes last, should have to colour their hair or colour their beard
Oh,
bright blue.
I don't like it. Tell you what, we'll do that. We'll do that, and Penny can be the one that colours it and choose the colour. How's that?
I'm just going to go and start practicing now.
I'm also leaving.
Baldy. Because we're not getting her to colour anything else. That would be wrong on so many levels.
I'm going to interject. My producers just told me it's got to be after the wedding. I'm not turning up the wedding with a pink beard.
Well, you better
Neither
win.
of you as well.
It will be purple. It's got to be Penny's current hair colour, purple.
Her hair's blue.
All right.
Blue.
Was it? I can't really tell.
Are you colourblind?
Right, let's wrap this up because otherwise people are going to start going, what are they going on about? Penny, say goodbye. Tell people where they can find you on Instagram and Facebook.
Dylan
and
didn't
all
put
the
your
social
tag on.
media jazz. Yes, I did.
Bye. My social media is it's Penny_Healey_Archer. On
Another
Instagram.
one with all the other
Facebook. Facebook is Penny Healey. Facebook is Penny Healey Archer, and TikTok, I can't remember. I think it's Penny Healey_OLY. There you go, guys.
Ooh, well, why?
And
Chad, tell us where you can find you because it's a new episode. Tell us again.
Carl720x10 on Instagram, which I don't really post that much on. Carl the Chad Richards, Mybo Pro Staff on Facebook. We do have a TikTok. There's probably one video on it, and I don't know the name of it because she does it.
Ravo, where can we find you?
Well, I've just realised we've sat through this whole episode of you putting hot show, Adam.
Oh, he does, with a pole.
Hot shot, Adam, on Instagram. Adam Ravenscroft Archery on Facebook. And I'm pretty sure I don't have a TikTok that I've ever posted to because that's newfangled.
Oh, you do because you follow mine.
Yeah, but have I ever posted on it? Let's go no. Instagram and Facebook, find me there. Dylan, over to you.
You can find me on Instagram at crow_with_a_o_2 because my first one was hacked.
We're not talking with underscores anymore
Yeah, I'm just going to say crow with a bow 2. You can find me on Facebook at Dylan Crow Archery, Crow with a Bow. You can find Bows and Beers Media on Instagram. We can find us on Instagram. You can find us on Spotify, YouTube, and maybe TikTok, because Penny told us we should make a TikTok.
With no underscores.
No underscores. It's going to be Bows and Beers, either media or podcast. Find us there. YouTube videos probably starting to come out around this time of the episode coming out, maybe a couple beforehand. And go follow everyone. Like and subscribe for any episodes or YouTube or anything. I'm not good with social media. And other than that, we will see you next time. Goodbye.
Thanks.